Welcome to ChukkerTV. I'm Dale Schwetz with Jan, Eric, Frank, and we are live from the Jan Pamela Polo Field today for the World Polo League, and this is the second leg of the Molina Cup. Jan, this is, two very strong ways. We have 4 teams actually in the semifinals here of the Molina Cup, and this is our second game to see who's going to head to the finals. Let's talk about the 2 teams.
Well, first of all, a very good morning to you. It's rather chilly here. We've had a major drop in temperatures. We were in the high 80s yesterday, Dale. We're now about 60 degrees, so it is rather chilly. But, of course, ideal conditions for the players out there. As you were saying, second semi-final of the Molina Cup. Now, if you tuned in yesterday, of course, you would have seen a real classic game there between Richard Mille, who secured themselves in the final on Sunday, of course, up against J5 La Dolfina. But this game this morning, Dale, is going to be another, I think, a cracking game. We've got still defending champions from last year's Founders Cup, Casablanca, up against a very, very strong team, Alegria. Now, of course, both of these teams are going to do everything they can to meet Richard Mille in Sunday's final. Let's just have a look at the teams. Alegria, we're glad to see Matthias Magrini back again. Torito Ruiz, who played for me, had a bit of an injury. So great to see him, the 7-goaler, back in the side. Now, of course, he's been instrumental in that Alegria team. At back, of course, as always, Fred Mannix, the young Englishman Henry Porter, and the South African Nachi Duplessis. So that's going to be another very, very strong team for Casablanca. Spoke to Grant Ganzi, who we know had a bit of a tumble earlier in the season. He seems to be okay. He said he wasn't feeling sore, so he's, I'm sure, very, very keen to get on. Then we've got, of course, Juancito Bellini, and the other two, of course, Hilario Ulloa coming in for the injured Juan Martinero, who I did see is, of course, with his team, and he'll be edging them on. And then the 10-goaler, Hilario Ulloa. So Casablanca, of course, want to prove a point here, and if it's just winning this semi-final to make it into the final of the Molina Cup, they will do everything they can to do so. I can see over my shoulder there are 2 mounted umpires, Gaston Dorignac, Martin Aguirre, about to make their way out onto the field. Esteban Negro, our third man, of course, in the studio. I believe we've got Steve Lane, the wonderful Steve Lane, our IRO. A good morning also, of course, to His Lordship the Commissioner and Her Ladyship Joe Smiklis. Nice to have you with us. And once again, look at this turnout here. Tailgate to tailgate. We've got still a couple of spaces there, but what looks like it'd be another full house. And I'm looking forward to this semi-final. How about you?
Yeah, you said the game's coming up here. Of course, these 2 teams played in the Founders Cup, and we had the Alegria team play against Valiente. They were actually beating them the whole game, and then Valiente, with Sevi Merlos leading the pack, came back, won that game right at the end, and we talked a lot about their style of play, and they played about that open style of the Alegria, hit and run. Mannix hitting everything from 100 to 120 yards on every ball he hit. They opened it up. Torito Ruiz did an amazing job. Now the Magrini's back in. So this team should probably be coming off a loss that they're going to be a little upset about because they were winning the whole time, Jan, and they should have probably finished that game. But let's see them come out with the open style. On the other side, we had the Casablanca team go up against SD Farms. Well, SD Farms, we got to interview Saeed Dentada at the Alegria game. He talked about the open style that Alegria plays. He complimented it. His team came up playing open style. They played it from beginning to end and got a win over the Casablanca team. So Casablanca is going to see a similar style that they saw against the SD Farms team.
Exactly, and with that said, of course, the stage is set. Let's have a little look. The players are coming out. As you were rightly saying there, Dale, a lot to play for, of course, and we saw that yesterday. Richard Mille, I mean, both teams, J5 La Dolfina, Richard Mille, they came out and they played it like it was a final, and I think so far one of the best games we've seen in the Founders Cup.
Mm-hmm. So let's get them ready to go here. Looks like we got them out on the field. We get this first chukker underway. Jan and I are going to be coming to you between chukkers to break each chukker down, and we'll have a halftime interview for you as we the skies today a little overcast, and we have the wind blowing in today from the northwest. So not a huge wind blowing in today, kind of off and on. It comes and it goes. But the chill factor today, as we said, as Jan was saying, in the 60s today. So we should just be perfect weather for the four-legged athlete as we have very fresh conditions. And I know the players about here warming the ponies up. As we look around the field, we notice all the trainers warming ponies up, everywhere to keep these ponies ready to go. Get it before they go on the field. Keep it safe for the players that are on the field. And so it looks like Casablanca will be in their black jerseys today. and Alegria in, of course, their pink jerseys, as we call them by a reddish pink. What do you say? It's kind of an off color.
Yeah, it's not quite pink. It's not quite red. It's sort of somewhere in between. But it's definitely an easy colour to spot the players, of course. Let's just, talking of the players, let's just go once again and tell you who's playing where. Now, for Alegria, as we said, in that sort of a reddish pink, we've got the Englishman Henry Porter at number 1 playing off 3 goals. Matthias Magrini, as we said, back in the saddle again after a slight injury. I think he had something wrong with his back. Nachi Duplessis, the 8 goal, the highest handicap player on that team. And then, of course, Fred Mannix. And as you were saying, Dale, he's been hitting those balls very, very solid and very far this season. You can see he's been working out. Playing at number 4 off 7 goals. Both of these teams coming in of 25. Casablanca, of course, Grant Ganzi, the 3-goaler at number 1. Juancito Bellini playing at number 2 of 4. And then the 10-goaler Hilario Ulloa at 3. And I'm sure you'll agree with me again, Dale, one of the best 9-goalers on planet Earth, Rodrigo Andrade, playing the number 4 position. And as you said, Alegria having to concede to Valiente 7-11. And Casablanca, that was another very close and a very tight game. Went all the way to the wire. SG Farms winning it with 1 goal, 10 goals to 9. As I can now tell you that the players are now more or less all out on the field, and we're ready to get this first of our 6 chukkers of the second Molina Cup semi-final underway. Now, just let me remind you, of course, those of you who are watching on Sunday morning at 11 o'clock, we will have the final of said Molina Cup. Waiting there, of course, already will be Richard Mille, who, as we mentioned, winning their semi-final yesterday. Probably one of the best matches we've seen here so far in the Founders Cup. Taking care of business with J5 La Dolfina. Went into overtime, and it was Camilo Castagnola who scored the most important game of the match, taking the victory home 13 goals to 12 in extra time. It took him about half a chukker to get that result. So if you'd like to come and join us on Sunday, then please go online and check out ChukkerTV.com. Delighted, of course, this year to have Seminole Casino Creek Copacabana Stadium, a beautiful stadium with a second-tier level where you can watch the action from above. You get a great view from up there. Tickets starting at $15, and if you want to sit at the top, a mere $250 is the cost. But fantastic hospitality, fantastic atmosphere, and as always, a Grand Champion's a great vibe. Here we go then. First ball of our 6 chukker semi-final thrown into play, and it is Juancito Bellini.
Bellini on the move right out of the first bowl in. I like his approach shot. He's going to get over, pick up Nachi, put him on his hip, go for the little under the neck shot, deep neck shot coming. That ball's going to roll just wide to the right, but a great attack here early in his first chukker by the Casablanca team as they come out with a strong run there. Now remember, we saw them move this team around as they did have Juancito at the back of the game. And then when Ulloa joined the team, they switched it around and put Ulloa and Andrade at the back and put the 2 young bucks in the front. I like to see that because Grant Ganzi and Bellini work well together. Beautiful tail shot here for Andrade. Nobody home with a black jersey, and it'll be the first touch of the day for Matthias Magrini. He's going to come together with Ulloa. Alario going to take it out here, face to face here, going to run the turn, pulls away from Magrini now, drops it for Ganzi. Grant comes in on the full 4-man rotation. He'll drop that one and leave it for Andrade. And now it'll be Ulloa to drop into the rumble seat behind Andrade. Number 4, he'll leave it for the number 3. Nobody back with a pink jersey on here, so Ulloa's going to take his time, work it forward. Little help from Andrade. He's going to scoot by one player. Get it over center field now, looking for a black jersey, and it'll be Nachi. Duplessis, Porter. Henry now coming strong, playing so strong this season. We talk a lot about Henry Porter, Yan, and he's been a thrill to watch. One of our young polo stars that has just been raising his level every game.
Absolutely, and it's great to see him also this year making his debut appearance at the WPL, playing for Casablanca. The only Englishman that we have in the tournament. We've got a lot of nations, of course, in the WPL, all the way from Nigeria, Canada, South Africa, Argentina, of course, not to forget all of our American players. But Henry Porter, as you were saying, great to see him, and playing off a very solid 3 goals. And I spoke to him, I really did speak to him before the game, and he was very, very keen. And as you can see, both of these teams are not wasting any time getting their engines running up to full speed. On the far side, we had a little interruption there as Fred Mannix had to go and get himself a new polo mallet. That first knock-in from the back line left a little bit of debris on the field. It's still there, I can see it. I'm sure we'll get rid of that in the next opportunity. But Alegria have possession, trying to penetrate that defensive wall from Casablanca. Grant Gansey will be on that first. He'll send a nice little backhand back up to, when he's only gone as far as his number 4, Andrade. Alegria keeping their wits about it. Oh, he nearly came out of the saddle there. Oops. And we see a player just, I didn't know what happened there. He just completely just, like the legs gave way. Dropped, but he's on his feet, which is a good thing. And I can see the umpire now just going to give him a helping hand. We'll be back after this commercial break in just a few moments, dear viewers. Stay tuned.
James Foti with ChukkerTV. I'm joined by my good friend Juan Bellini. And as many people know, polo is very popular in Argentina, and most of the players speak Spanish. However, I do not. So he's going to teach me a word or a sentence in Spanish. What do you got for me?
First of all, amigo, as a friend.
Amigo.
Yeah, amigo.
Amigo.
Yes, that's good. And then in polo, we do a lot of changing horses.
Okay.
And that in Spanish sense is cambiar el caballo.
Cambiar el caballo.
Ojo. Cambiar el caballo. Cambiar el caballo.
Cambiar el caballo.
You sound like a Chinese. No, it's cambiar. It's cambiar. End with R.
Cambiar.
Cambiar el caballo.
Cambiar el caballo.
No worry, you did it terrible, but let's go for the next one, please. Right. Because we're going to be all day. Yes, cambiar el caballo.
Cambiar el caballo.
No, we still don't do it. Don't worry.
Oh, that's learning Spanish with Juan Bellini.
Nachi trying to go coast to coast with the butter and the toast.
There it is, the Cobra Strike.
Those once, twice, 3 times out of the air.
Come back as, we had a couple players come together on the far side. It looks like all the players up. Matrius Regrini was down for a little bit. We had him checked out. And so they're going to line them up over on the far side for a bowling here. As 4 minutes, 7 seconds left here in this first Chukker play. No one on the scoreboard yet. Back and forth by both teams. Alegria in the pink jerseys, Casablanca in the black jerseys. On the far side, we get the bowl in from the center to the boards, and it'll get backed up and turned around by the number 4, Rodrigo Andrade. Andrade's going to send everybody forward here, looking for Ulloa on the far side. He holds that one. Little pump fake, then he'll back to the center as he creates a little space. Porter's going to sneak over, take that one back into the inside and turn around for Magrini. Magrini, first touch after he went down, looking very strong here. Now we have a player. Oh, man, Grant Gansey. A tough month at the office, you could say here, Jan.
Yeah, it looks like he got a hit on his back there, which is rather unfortunate. Right, I think, on the bottom of his back there. That's the coccyx bone, which, of course, if you get hit on that, that is very, very painful. But luckily, he's staying in the saddle or on the saddle. But as you were saying, Del, yeah, he has really had a bit of a tough month so far. But he's able to play on. They're going to have a throw in. So they line up with maybe 40, 50 yards just adjacent to the halfway line. Ball coming in on the far side from Gaston Dorignac. Is going to be met straight away by Casablanca, man with the number 3, the 10-goaler, Hilario Ulloa. Been given a lot of time. Andrade trying to take care of Magrini. Ulloa around the outside he goes. Still Ulloa now, a little tuck in, and he kept it well. As Andrade anticipated potentially Ulloa losing that ball. Andrade now again. Well, we have had a bit of rain over the night, which makes the field a little bit heavy, of course. Not easy for the boys to hit the ball cleanly. I'm sure also the wind's not helping. Another whistle on that play. 3:04, and I remember no courtesy changes in the Founders Cup or the Molina Cup.
Yeah, one of the new procedures coming into the Founders Cup, and that'll carry on through the rest of the season here for the World Polo League, as they do use the courtesy change to start off the season, as the players are preparing their ponies and getting their teams organized. So we do have a bit of a right-of-way violation here. They're going to talk about this one, though. So our mounted officials will throw that one over to the third man. A little discussion as all 3 umpires, actually all 4 umpires, counting our instant replay official, are all wired up. They can talk to each other at all times. And looks like they're going to take this one over to the far side. They're going to say no foul on the play. So that'll be a bowl in from wherever the ball was when the whistle sounded. And they'll line them up from whatever side they were on for to break the field down. If you all line down the center. And that's going to be on the far north side to get this one going. And again, everyone jumping around trying to get position here. It's going to be won by Mannix, and he'll open it up and get this team flowing. And this is what they did in their preliminary match of the Founders Cup, as Mannix started the offensive attack with the big bomber shots. But here you got to be careful, because it's going to be Juancito Bellini. Oh, they all come flying in together there. They're going to get him a roll right here. The little racing, Robbins racing. Shot on goal by Andrade. Stolen by Nachi Duplessis. And he'll slow it down as Duplessis will work it down the end line with skill and finesse. Now he leaves that one in there for Mannix, and he'll go forward. Freddie, outlet pass looking for Magrini. Down the sideline they go. Rodrigo Andrade takes him out away from Nachi. Now he's got to deal with Porter Henry. Very strong in there. Now 3 players in pink jerseys converge on Andrade, and Ulloa says, come on, man, let's go. He's going to take it out of there. Nice little play by Rodrigo. Now the give and go. Back to the number 4. Henry coming back strong from the number 1 position. Loose ball play picked up by number 3. Ulloa shot on goal from about the 60-yard line. Magrini left inside. And everybody converges as we get a whistle down in the goal mouth with 1:49 on the clock.
Very close there, indeed. Very close indeed. As Ulloa managed to find a little passage and was just denied just in front of goal. Another right-of-way foul committed there. It'll be very quickly taken by Mannix. Mannix taps the ball back into play. He wants to get the ball away from his goal mouth as far as he can. There's a little daisy cutter up over the halfway line. Magrini can't get to it. Porter a little bit slow off the mark. Picked up nice on the turn there by Rodrigo Andrade. Juancito Bellini anticipating that ball to come to him, but Ulloa, Hilario Ulloa, had 2 to deal with. One of those being just one too many. Again, the 9-goaler has it taken off him there by Mannix. And he will run this one himself in hot pursuit. Casablanca defenders. He gets a nice piece of that. The 10-goaler sends it up to over the halfway line, where Ganzi was just holding fire. Casablanca, turn. And another right-of-way infringement, I think this time on the line that was already in possession by Rodrigo Andrade. Quick pony change. Now remember, there are no courtesy pony changes in the Founders Cup or any other tournament after the All-Star Challenge, and only 1 challenge per team. Now, of course, if they win their challenge, they regain it. If they lose it, that is game over. So if the player decides to go and leave the field, it is at his own risk, of course. And as you can see, the umpires, after that right-of-way foul, have awarded a penalty 3 in favour of Casablanca. Still no score, surprising, no score, with a little over a minute to go in Chukker number 1. And I think the honours here will be taken by the number 2, Juancito Bellini. As Hilario Ulloa comes back on a fresh set of legs. There it is. And Mannix nearly got a piece of it. So that opens up the scoring here. Juancito Bellini getting the first of this morning's game. The second semi-final of the Molina Cup. A little bit patchy so far. Maybe it's the weather, maybe it's just the wind, but so far both of these teams not really yet flowing the way we saw, especially yesterday's semi-final, but I'm sure that will change throughout the remainder of this Chukker and, of course, of this game.
Yeah, as you said, and it's surprising this one comes out, and it's a defensive battle, but, both of these teams, as I said, battling it out to try to get that control early here, so we're going to see a defensive battle. Mannix going to try to launch one, gets hooked in there by Ulloa, followed up by Magrini. Magrini's going to lay it inside the 60, picked up on the run as the clock ticks down 10 seconds. They'll take it into the corner, miss hit back to the center. Magrini with 4 seconds on the clock, shot on goal in the high flag right before the horn, and that goal will count as there was 2 seconds, almost 3 seconds on the clock when Magrini hits the near side tail shot, and a great way to end this first Chukker, tying it up 1-1. So on a brisk morning here in Southern Florida on ChukkerTV, the World Polo League, we'll be right back for our second Chukker of play.
James Fody back with my good friend Juan Bellini learning Spanish. What do you got for me this time?
You couldn't say my good amigo. You should start speaking in Spanish yourself too.
My good amigo, Juan Bellini.
No. You said, estoy con Juan Bellini. Estoy con mi amigo Juan Bellini.
Estoy cambiar el Juan Bellini.
No, estoy. Listen first. Estoy con mi amigo Juan Bellini.
Estoy con mi amigo Juan Bellini.
Good. Okay. The next one is in Spanish and English we say sticking ball, and that means taquear.
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 not with L. You sound like Chinese again. Es taquear with R, not with L. Taquear. A sticking ball means in Spanish taquear.
Taquear.
No. Taquear.
He's very frustrated with me.
Yes, I do.
I'm working on it. That's Learning Spanish with Juan Bolini.
All right, so after our first Chucker play, and yeah, they get to agree with me, a bit of a defensive battle.
Very much so, defensive battle, and I think both of these teams still trying to find their rhythm. And of course, we had that little injury timeout in the first Chucker. Maybe that interrupted or disrupted a little bit the flow of things. We saw a cracking goal taken by Juancito Bellini, a penalty 3 he converted, and then what a way they went, as you're saying, with Magrini putting off that very difficult angle back tail shot and finding the target. So at least it's level peggings at the end of the first Chucker, but I'm a little bit surprised. I was going to expect a little bit more. As I say, maybe it's the conditions, maybe it's the weather, maybe it was that little upset in the first Chucker. The boys are back on the field day. Welcome, Dale. Welcome back, everybody, on ChukkerTV, of course, joining us here for the second semi-final of the Molina Cup. We already know that Richard Mille is in the final, and no sooner had I mentioned his name, Juancito Bellini, out of play once again, winning that throw-in, running with the ball. Bellini getting his second of the game, and that a great way to start Chucker number 2 for Casablanca.
Yeah, one of the young bucks coming out alive. That's what you want to see. Bellini actually started off early, Casablanca, busting out in the first bowling of the day. So the bowling's working here for Casablanca. Be very important today. As you notice how they line this one up. I like they put Mannix at the number 2 position, wearing the number 4. Oh, Ulloa coming out strong. Manachi, Duplessis reads it. Who's got the horsepower? Nachi's going to put him on his hip and open this one up. Looking for Porter. Ganzi rotates in. Now Magrini. No, they'll slow it down. It's going to be Frederick. Mannix with the number 4 on his back. Little bit of a miss hit there. You don't see that much for Mannix. Now turned inside by the opposite number 4. It's going to be Rodrigo Andrade with Grant Ganzi going forward. Roddy Andrade inside the 60. Oh, it bounces off the pony. Grant's going to try to come over and take Nachi and put him on his hip, but that ball's going to just trickle over the end line. And they'll line him up down in the far east side of the field here for a knock-in for Alegria.
Well, things are starting to heat up a little bit now. I think we're starting to see a bit of a flow from both teams. A little bit unfortunate there that that pass got a deflection as Mannix gets things underway once more here. Tapping the ball in from his own back line. He's got Duplessis on his left, who will pick up the loose ball. Ganzi will turn quicker on it now than has he got the horsepower to beat Duplessis. Ganzi trying to put a touch to it. Mannix manages to just clear it. Sends the ball into no man's land. Who's going to get to it first? 3 players. Casablanca. It's going to be left for Andrade. Andrade just a little flick shot there to steal it, taking it around the outside. Rodrigo Andrade. Surely he won't miss from there, and he doesn't. So Casablanca very much on the roll here at the top of Chucker number 2. 1 now. Scored by Bellini, his second in total so far, and 1 by the 9-goaler, putting them with a nice little cushion in front. 3 goals to 1 with 4:24 on the clock. Chucker number 2.
Yeah, Casablanca getting in a rhythm here as they come back to the center. And again, remember the breeze blowing more from the northwest today, so you get a little bit of an advantage running to that east goal. Not much, though, as it does break across the field here. Big ball, and I like this. Ulloa. Ganzi has Porter on his hip. That's going to give Bellini a true, clean route. Look at Henry Porter coming back strong. Gets there, and look at, it leaves it on the end line. Called off by Magrini. And good heads-up play, though, by Porter. As it looked like we're going to have Bellini just off to the races there. Now turned around by Alegria, and they're going to work this one down to center field. Again, both teams opening up this second Chucker, like the pace of it. Now, as they come back inside, going to be picked up here by Nachi. He works it inside, a little bit of a sword fight with Andrade. 2 players come together right there. and you'll get a whistle all day long, and they'll work this one out as the number 3 in the black jersey and the number 4 in the pink jersey come together. We had one player trying to back the ball, another player running through. What the umpires are looking for here was the pink jersey overlapped in time, enough time on the back shot, or was the pink jersey riding in to the back shot? That's what they'd be looking for. They want to know whether the black jersey is actually dropping them out on the pink jersey or the pink jersey riding into it. So they're going to evaluate that play. And looks like McGreeny's going to evaluate the polo ball out there. That's kind of neat. See him there. He's checking it out. Make sure it doesn't have a crack in it, I think. As you say, cracking. So they'll walk off. We are going to have a horse time out here for number 2 in the pink. So that'll give an all change. And with an all change right now, Yan with 3:20 on the clock, we're going to have all 8 players on fresh legs here for the final remainder of this second Chucker play.
Indeed we are, but as you were saying, Dale, this game is now starting to pick up pace and momentum, and both teams very much now finding their rhythm. Casablanca seem to have the slight upper hand at the moment, but don't be disillusioned. This is far, far from a foregone conclusion. 3-1. Alegria seem very focused and very determined out there. As we saw McGreeny just walk his pony off the field. Let's have a little head count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Casablanca boys are all back. And I've just been told, riding into the back shot, which of course is a no-no. So as Dale was suggesting there, they were going to evaluate that. Thank you, of course, to our IRO, our instant replay official, Steve Lane, back in the studio. Of course, he has all the footage at his fingertips. So a hit from the spot of penalty 5-8, quickly taken here for Casablanca by Rodrigo Andrade. Andrade been given a lot of space. Sends the ball up to the Tengola. Hilario Ujoa. He's got Bellini at the front. Ganzi too far away, but there's the pass out to the right-hand side, looking for Andrade. Andrade, one-touch polo, and it's through. What a cracking play here from Casablanca. And goal number 2 for the 9-goaler, Rodrigo Andrade. And as I was saying, Casablanca seem to have the slight upper hand, starting to run away with it now, 4-1.
Yeah, scored on each end of the field here. And, of course, twice down in the west goal mouth. With Yan and I are talking, probably the tougher goal mouth to run into, Yan. They've scored 2 down there based on the wind today. And, that east goal, you're going to have a little bit of wind at your back, so it's going to make the ball a little bit slower as you're running the goal. Here's a steal and a whistle. So, Frederick, the question this one, he thinks that he's okay there, is it looks like you might need to give him one play before Frederick stole that ball. So, Joa. And we talk about penalties within 10 yards, even 20 yards of the center line here in the WPL. You got to watch out because they're going to move every ball to a 60-yard mark, which means that's a goal shot penalty. And all teams have been dialed in here on the 60-yard shot. It'll make and break you. We've seen some games where, that's what beat the teams. We had a few games where the teams just were not strong from the penalty line with opportunity to win.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times, and as you were saying, of course, now another chance with a penalty for Casablanca, stepping up to the plate this time, looking for his first score of the game. Hilario Ujoa, the 10-goaler. 3/4 of that team, of course, the same team that we saw last year. It's a long, long ball, and it's through, no mistake. He hit that with a lot of power and very straight. Hilario Ujoa getting his first. 5-1. That's how quickly things can change. Remember, they came into this Chucker 1 apiece, but Casablanca, everybody except Grant Ganzi now in this Chucker having scored. Oh, and I'm being told here, no, it's been overruled. And remember, the mounted umpires can overrule a decision by a goal judge. So, no goal on that play. It stays 4-1. We're down to just under 2 minutes left to play in Chucker number 2, but Casablanca will have another shot on goal, and this time it's gone through on the account of Rodrigo Andrade getting his hat-trick, 3 in a Chucker, and that makes it 5-1.
Well, I always talk about the good players, the top players in the world, how they always reevaluate a play and they usually regain it after, a miss or a fault. And right there, they call that one wide for Ujoa, and then Roddy says, no problem, win the bowling, win the knock-in. And then fires one from 60. Andrade fired up here in the second chukker. Ujoa is going to take this one right here in the board, right in front of you. Now he'll slow it down back to the inside. A lot of help from Andrade. I like the way the 3 and the 4 are working together in the black jerseys. Ujoa steals this one away from Magrini. Ujoa, a bit of a Tasmanian devil here in the second chukker, running all over the place, trying to make a defensive battle out of this and just winning every defensive play. Casablanca, and that is opening up the offensive attack. Nachi, Duplessis going to work it for it. Nachi, he had the opportunity to sneak away there. Nachi wants a cross hook on this play. As he looked back, he saw where Ujoa was. Alario's going to say, I was there, but they're going to talk about it. And Nachi Duplessis, you watch it, kind of saw him look back over his shoulder. And you got to remember something, Nachi's got very long arms, so he knew that where Ujoa was to make that play. Well, he thinks that he got cross-hooked. They're going to talk about it.
Yeah, it was very, very borderline. I can understand Ujoa a little bit unhappy with the umpire's decision. It looked, from where I'm sitting, it looked above board, but let's wait and see what the umpires make of that. Now, I can understand him having a few words there, but the foul clearly stands. You can see the ball being dropped there on the penalty 3 spot. So clearly an irregular hook. And Alegria, much in need of a quick goal with 37 seconds on the clock left to play. We'll be looking for goal number 2. And let's see if they can convert here from a penalty 3. Remember, 40 yards is the distance. Now, who's going to have the nerve? So far, as we've been saying, Mannix has been playing and hitting those balls so well. But he's going to leave this one for the South African. And Nachi Duplessis, play is called, takes a long run up. And we will have that first bell or the first horn within 7 seconds. Here we go. Duplessis. It's high, but is it straight? It is indeed. So Allegri will be happy with that. They come back to the centre, 5-2. And there won't even be enough time to come back to the centre. Give a little round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much indeed. And so far, it is 5-2 at the end of the second chukker. We'll be right back with the final chukker of the first half after these messages brought to you by ChukkerTV.
Third chucker action underway as Bellini takes it down the far left side of the field. That would be the north side. As this ball goes back to the center, Grant Gansey in range here. That ball's going to stay on the field. Grant needs to make a decision. Decides to work this one back to the inside. Stolen away and taken out of there by Alegria as they'll work it down once, twice, out of the air. Porter working very hard, taking back to the inside. Actually, it was Nachi Duplessis taking it out of there, and now it's picked up by Ulloa. Loose ball play, Grant Gansey, and we'll get a whistle on the play to stop the action here with 6-12, 5-2 as we enter this third chucker play.
Well, that second chucker was very much the Casablanca chucker. Everybody scoring apart from Gansey. We saw a goal that we thought was a goal from Hilario Joe. It was overruled after he took that penalty. But a hat-trick coming through Rodrigo Andrade, which put them in a nice little position. 5-2 as they come into chucker number 3. Mannix leave this one behind. Duplessis will send it back up to the front door. Magrini beaten to it there by Bellini. Little backhand flick. Now who's going to get to it first? It'll be Rodrigo Andrade. He's got a little bit of space as he takes it over the halfway line. Andrade. He's got Bellini to his left. Lofts that one nicely. It lands on the tee. On the green, I should say, for Juancito Bellini. He's trying to weave his way through that Alegria defense. Picked up there by the 10-goaler, Hilario Ulloa in front of goal. Well, we had a whistle on that play. I thought I saw it go through, but a whistle on that play right in front of the goal mouth. Not easy to spot with all those legs in front of the goal. Well, the ball's been dropped, so it'll be hit from the spot, and it's going to go in favour of Alegria. So they got lucky on that play. Very lucky indeed. But you might have noticed, Dale, that Casablanca pressing very, very hard. And I'm sorry, it's gone the other way. That's what I thought it was going to go. And it's going to be taken very quickly by Juancito Bellini. Bellini getting his third of the game. And Alegria need to be a little bit careful here because they're standing very, very deep. And again, Casablanca being allowed more to play their game. Alegria just reacting and not really being that proactive at the moment.
Yeah, coming out strong here with just under 5 minutes left here in this third chucker. And the last two chuckers have been all Casablanca. And Alegria's had some attempts, but again, just working well here, the black jerseys. Everybody fighting for each other. Ulloa and Andrade. They have been commanding the pace from the number 3 and number 4 position, and this is how they do it. Once, twice, leave the ball for Ulloa. He'll work it down the far right side. Ulloa trying to go back to the center. Loose ball here, turned around by Magrini, and backed up again by Ulloa, and they have Grant Gansey on the end of that pass. Gansey, one time, Grant Gansey. I like the thought process, and Double G going to pick up his first goal of the day, and with Duplessis right in the goal mouth there. Smart play here by Grant Gansey to go and just fire that ball on the little black bear. And that's going to put everybody in a black jersey on the scoreboard except for Ulloa. Hilario. As Ulloa was taking it down in there a couple times, Jan, and actually got fouled and then gave up the pass to Bellini. And now Ulloa's going to get it moving down the field here and put the pressure on to number 3 once again. Nachi Duplessis with the open tail shot over to Mannix. Frederick's going to change the field. I like this play right here by Frederick Mannix for Nachi Duplessis. But we might have 3-on-2 here. Magrini coming back. Ulloa coming back. Gansey will leave that one right in the center. And Andrade on the breakaway. Frederick Mannix is going to get there with a little tap shot. Opened up by the number 3, Duplessis, and taken by the number 2, Magrini. Matias Magrini going to move it forward right here. Great Gansey goes for the hook. Neutral play. Opened up by Ulloa. Picked up by Mannix. He meets that one on the move. Mannix now is going to open this one down the field, looking for Henry Porter. Oh, Porter puts it back to the center for Nachi. Now, Duplessis with a little flip shot to the near side. Nice ride off by Grant Gansey. Great defensive play by Casablanca. And Rodrigo Andrade will change the field here. Mannix reads that play perfectly. Ooh, he's going to get called here on the little flip shot. And I don't know, man, he's not going to be happy with this one. With 2:32 on the clock. And we have a number of players changing ponies.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame on that play because I've got to say, Dale, I think the way Alegria are combining and the way they're passing to each other, playing very much a game of chess up here. It's a bit of a shame that they got denied a run on goal. It must have been very close, very much borderline for Mannix to get fouled on that play. But it really is a joy to see how Alegria are playing a very, very tactical and a very clever game. Also that play just now when Mannix spanked that one down the line. Porter facing the ball, wanted to extend it with a nice backhand, and he played a tail shot into the danger zone, and that's when, of course, it all went a little bit wrong. Duplessis got a piece of it. So I'm liking the way Alegria are combining and the way they're playing and passing together. And this could be something that Casablanca need to keep an eye out, because if they continue playing this kind of polo, then Alegria will definitely be a force to be reckoned with, especially in the second half. 2:32 left to play in the first half. 7-2 in favour at the moment of Casablanca, but it still very much is anyone's game.
Yeah, you're saying that, they're anticipating the plays very well at Alegria, but this Casablanca team, you got to give it up also. They seem to come from nowhere at the end, like right there with Grant Gansey. He comes alive right at the end, literally on the doorstep to make a nice little bump. One little ride-off changes the play, and they go the opposite way. But they are reading the field very well. They just they're not having a great high percentage of finishing the goals, and we see that a lot. Percentages coming big, especially here in the WPL with this high goal, 26-goal level. The teams that have the higher percentages of finishing are finishing the games and winning games. So we see a lot of brilliant plays in the middle, and looks like they were talking about this one for a while, so I'm going to check with the third man, Jan. I'll give this one back to you.
Thank you. Well, they're definitely going back to the centre. No, they're going beyond the centre even. Or they're going to drop the ball on the centre line. And it's going to go in favour of Casablanca. So a penalty 5B will give you the information once Dell has spoken to the commissioner and the third man. Okay, that's what we thought. It must have been a challenge on that play, and the challenge was overruled. So that challenge now gone. And as you can see, a hit from the centre in favour of Casablanca. Rodrigo Andrade. Still 2:32 on the clock. There's the daisy cutter intercepted, but couldn't control it by Gansey. Nice little backhand and plays it into the lap of Mannix. Mannix has got a man going up on his left-hand side. The number 3, Nachi Duplessis, as Magrini sends it. Casablanca, well, you touched on that just a few moments ago. Their defensive play really very, very strong as they turn it around. And Juancito Bellini now. Bellini, surely just a little flick. And Gansey, and that makes it goal number 2 for young Grant Gansey. 8-2, and these are the kind of mistakes. Well, we've seen that before with Alegria. Very solid midfield. They're finishing not 100%, but in defence. And it was just 2 little plays there of Casablanca to take wide apart and open up the spaces that they need. Bellini running it down the field, and then his teammate Grant Gansey just putting the finishing touch. 8-2. We're down to 1:24 in the first half left to play. Martin Aguirre just giving a few words, stern words of instruction to both teams on the line out. Ulloa has to concede, leaves this one behind for Andrade. Andrade again finding plenty of space and gets into Alegria territory. Magrini with a hook attempt, but Bellini read it well. He's got a lot of space on his side here. Juancito Bellini, having already scored 3, will be looking possibly for number 4. In comes Ulloa. It's taken off the play right in front of the goal mouth. And now a counter-offensive play. Can he get through? Duplessis out on his own, out in front. It's turning out to be a day at the races. Gansey took a swing and he left that one behind. Alegria now again with a shot up to the front door. Can he pick this up? He tries it on the near side. He was very unlucky there. We've heard the first horn, and Grant will just clear that and send that deep, deep into the corner. Ball, I think, has gone out of bounds, and that will be, when they come back, ladies and gentlemen, that will be a safety. 60, that is Chucker. A round of applause, if I may. Thank you very much. Kindly, if you would, come and join us treading in those divots. And we have, delighted to have Alejandro Novillo Estrada, who'll be back in a few moments with Dale after these messages brought to you by ChukkerTV. Stay tuned.
So this is the heart of American polo. The atmosphere here at Santa Rita is like family. The Santa Rita facilities are world-class polo facilities. They're in the center of Wellington, Florida, and it's the perfect place to come and play polo at this time of year.
What I really like about Santa Rita is that we have everything very near to the barn, so I can get on the horse and go to the track, ride the horses, or sticking ball on the field. All the people that work here at Santa Rita are really nice and really friendly. Also, you can bring the children because the barn is very secure, so the horses are very, very comfortable and they rest very well.
The Ganti family providing some wonderful opportunities here at Santa Rita, particularly for the women, because in women's polo we're just now starting to really blossom and grow. Melissa Ganti and Alina Carta have put together this league, and they're doing a fantastic job making opportunities available for women to play once a week against each other. So the Santa Rita League has helped us develop these friendships and bonds and create ways of improving women's polo.
My name is Juan Bolini and we are here in Santa Rita Polo Club. I'm the chef director of the polo school, though we do have lessons and the idea is to have polo for everyone.
I've been coming out here taking lessons at Santa Rita for 4 years. Every lesson is really fun. It's always a good time to get out on a horse.
And I think polo is a sport for everyone. So we really have a facility for any level of polo that you want to come enjoy. So I really enjoy what we do here, and Mark and Melissa Ganti really love the game of polo, they love horses.
I highly recommend anyone coming to Santa Rita to play for lessons, for club chuckers, for polo tournaments at any level from local to as high as 26. We're very grateful to have the chance to play here. Thanks to Melissa and to Mark and everyone at Grand Champions in Santa Rita.
All right, welcome to halftime here on a very windy day. Alejandro Novillo Estrada. Alejandro, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Dale.
Alejandro was just talking to me about how cold it was here because it has dropped. Alejandro has gone from like being summertime to being wintertime here in southern Florida.
Yeah, yesterday we had such nice weather. It was really, really warm, and well, last night it rained a little bit, and today we are freezing.
Yeah, you got it. Where you go? Right here, Alejandro. If you've been watching the WPO, okay, the World Polo, he's played. This is his second year playing in it and playing this year, of course, with the Seminole Casino Coconut Creek. And congratulations going into your semifinal. Let's talk about a little bit about the team. You know, we have Melissa, of course, and you're playing with Nick Roldan and then Lucas James. Tell me about the team and your strategy when you guys go on the field.
Well, I'm playing on the back, Lucas playing 3, Nick on number 2, and Melissa on number 1. So we have Nick and Melissa stretching the team going forward, and Lucas and I trying to defend and provide balls to them. And also we have I think we found a good rotation between the 4 of us. So sometimes we defend, sometimes we attack. And
who was that? Oh, the masked man. He will be back, that guy.
Yeah, he's always here.
He's always here.
Learning Spanish with Juan Bolini.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, learning Spanish. You all said, Alejandro. And you can also learn Spanish from the masked man, Juan Bolini. So tell me about, so yeah, you talk about that rotation again. before our Spanish instructor Juan Bellini showed up.
I was telling that we found a good rotation between the four of us. So sometimes the defenders become the attackers, and the attackers become the defenders. And I think that's very good because it helps us, cover each other when we need to.
Yeah, I got to tell you, your last game, you guys had it really dialed in because you guys use Melissa at certain times, and Melissa gets going. She always likes to take her time. You have her well schooled there to make sure she hits that first ball, which stretches the team out. And then Nikki jumps in there really quick. And you and Lucas have a great flow in the back. Have you ever played with Lucas before playing on this team?
I played with Lucas 3 years in a row in the Triple Crown in Argentina.
Oh, okay.
So we also have played other tournaments together. So we know each other. We played in England. We know each other. It's easy to play with Lucas. And the team has been a lot of fun so far. So hopefully we do well tomorrow.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, you look like you're having fun now. And like you say, Alejandro, we all know when your team's having fun, that's when the teams win, and you have that great energy out there. And so good luck with this. So I know you're going to put the strategy tomorrow, of course, will be Melissa in the front. Watch that rotation as they do work it very well. You got a little game plan against this Valiente team. Alegria had them for 5 chukkers, and then we talked about it, Valiente, they came back right at the end.
But it's cold.
Oh, I'm sorry, Scone. God, I keep saying Valiente. I apologize. Yeah, Scone coming in there, which is a very strong team, of course, with Adolfo Perotto and, of course, Kavanaugh, David Paradise in the front. And I do apologize here on the WPL. We were watching those games with Alegria for the Valiente team. So this team here, any different setup in the game plan?
No, I don't think so. We'll have to try to play our game and make them play our game too, and hopefully we can manage to do that. But they are a very good team, so I'm sure they will have their plan too, and we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. You're on to noon for this game, of course. So you're going to watch the Coconut Creek, of course, Seminole Casino, Coconut Creek going up against Scone, and it's going to be this guy right here managing the team for the number 4. Melissa will play the number 1, Nick Rodan number 2, Lucas James at the number 3, and then, of course, the Scone team, they're going to put David Paradise at the number 1, and they'll put Perotto Cambiaso at the number 2, Diego Kavanaugh at the number 3, and Adolfo Cambiaso number 4. What a matchup. You don't want to miss that one here on ChukkerTV. Alejandro Navid Estrada, as always, man, thank you so much, and good luck tomorrow.
Okay, thank you very much, Dana. See you
got
tomorrow.
it. All right, good luck. Go get an interview with him after the game. We got him out here on the field, so let's get this one going. And again, I do apologize that I'm calling the Valiente team in there. That's the other semifinal that we're going to talk about. And we're going to talk about that one, Yan and I, as they did make it into the semifinals, the Valiente team. And that team, that's going to be our other semifinal tomorrow in the Founders Cup. So we have a double header for you. And that team, they're going to go ahead and get it going here. Of course, we have Valiente going up against Esti Farms. Valiente with Gringo Clumbres, Sebastian Merlos, Rejo Taranco, and they'll mix it up here on who's going to go ahead and play. It looks like Joaquin Avendaño is going to play tomorrow, so you want to check them out. Of course, Esti Farm with Seu Dantada, Santi Torres, Guillermo Terrera, and looks like Zubia, Juan Martin Zubia. As here we go on the first shot of the second half, as it's going to be Nachi Duplessis. And he hit that one into the wind. It looked like he hit it perfectly straight, Yan. These are going to be great semifinals tomorrow, Yan. I think you can agree with me. The teams match up very well. And, man, you just want to tune in for both these games because they're going to be awesome polo games.
Absolutely. And on that note, remember, of course, tomorrow, semi-finals. Dale just said it, a doubleheader. The first at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning on ChukkerTV here in Florida, local time, of course, and then again in the afternoon. So plenty of high goal polo to come as we see a nice little goal there coming from Alegria, and they need to come back strong, and they've done it. And that was the number 2, Matthias Magrini. Thank you very much to our eye in the sky there, the lovely Steph, verifying Matthias Magrini. So getting off to a very good start here in the second half. Alegria, who have quite a task ahead of them, coming into this second half, trailing by 6 goals. 8 goals to 2 it was. It's now 8 goals to 3. And let's let's hope that they're going to have a few more goals coming their way as Mannix tries to take a cut shot. It has a deflection. In comes the 10-goaler, Hilario Ulloa. Magrini looking for his number 3, Duplessis, but it'll be Juancito Bellini having a little bit of difficulty trying to control that ball. Nicely stolen, takes it and picks it up nicely on the near side by the number 3, the 8-goaler, Duplessis again. Casablanca finding a little gap, and that gap is going to be made the most of here by Grant Ganzi. Ganzi looking for his next goal, and there it is, goal number 3 for young Grant Ganzi. So again, that advantage very short-lived as that 6 goals are restored in favour of Casablanca. 9 goals to 3. So 2 very quick early goals here at the top of Chukker number 4. 5:10 on the clock in Chukker number 4.
Yeah, 3 players here on the Casablanca team with hat tricks. And I know they're happy about that. Juan Martin Nero down there coaching the team. He's got to be thrilled to see that, especially when Ulloa is the one player who doesn't have any goals because he is the quarterback. And he'll set the teams up, and he's doing a fabulous job today filling in for Juan Martin Nero. Love watching the Machina play polo, and that's why I call him the Machina. He is a little machine as they take it forward. Here's another one. It's going to be Andrade. Rodrigo, from a standstill, moves it down, goes through the legs of 2 people, and look at Mannix meeting that ball on the fly and just knocking it out of the defensive area. Now, back inside by Andrade. On the far side, Magrini. Matias will take it forward here out of the air. Little bit of running room here as Matias looking for someone to pass to. There's the outlet pass. We know the gray pony with Porter coming forward. Andrade takes it forward. Now Porter will tail it in there. Going to be Nachi Duplessis. Wow, the Secretary of Defense, number 4, Rodrigo Andrade, puts Nazi on his hip and smokes the near side back shot. Now as they come inside here, a nice little play by Porter to leave it for Magrini. This ball will go dead center, met in there by Nachi Duplessis and backed up by Bellini. Stolen away as the melee play down in front of goal. Mallets in the air, no whistle on the play as Mannix will clean this one up. A little bit of a fake back shot there. Oh, it's going to be Magrini actually with the fake back shot, and Mannix helping him out with a little ride-off on Rodrigo Andrade. 4 players come together at a standstill. You can throw a blanket over all 4 of them, and we'll get a whistle on the play that'll stop the action with 3:17 on the clock.
Well, as was to be expected, and it's gone from strength to strength, Chukker to Chukker. Both of these teams now, and especially Alegria, finding their rhythm a lot more in the second half. Nice little goal coming from Matias Magrini. And as I say, Grant Ganzi, after Casablanca put that open up that defensive play and very quickly gave Grant a chance to find his hat-trick, as you were saying. Indeed, all 3 players now, except Ulloa, having got 3 on the score. And a penalty 4 after that play being awarded in favour of Alegria. A very big opportunity here, which I'm sure Magrini will not want to waste. Looks even more a little bit like it could be a safety 60. It's not quite maybe on the centre spot there. So Magrini drills one. It's met by Juancito Bellini. And coming out of the starting blocks very quickly, the 10-goaler, but only as far as once again Henry Porter, who, now we talked about him, getting stronger and stronger. That one's just gone wide. Now another wasted opportunity there from Alegria. They could have done with a quick goal. Remember, they're trailing by 6. And what a turnaround. At the end of that first Chukker, it was 1 apiece. At the end of half-time, it was 8 goals to 2. And now here in Chukker number 4, still 6 goals in it. Alegria have a lot of work to do. Picked up on the far side. There's the pass across the field. Looking for either Grant Ganzi, who will pick this one up beautifully on the near side. Couldn't quite get a second shot onto that play, as Duplessis for Alegria will try and run away with this one. In comes Mannix. A little bit too slow off the mark there is Bellini. Tries to tee the ball up nicely and run away with it. McGreeny tries to put his stick down and get a little bit of a hook on him. There's the under the net cut shot. It didn't quite get the angle he wanted. Ulloa. Left it for Ganzi. And again, Alegria, well, they're doing a lot better in defence, but a little mistake like that. And there is the first goal for Hilario Ulloa. Now all 4 players of Casablanca on the score sheet. And that puts them into double figures. 10 goals to 3 with 1:45 left to play in Chukker number 4.
Yeah, this is the Casablanca team we're used to seeing. And that's a very strong team, offensive and defensively. And, of course, anytime a team gets within 13 goals in a game, you know that offensive attack is working, and they're right on par here in this 4th chukker of play, as it'll be Joe to win this one. Again, the give and go from the number 4 to number 3, and it's been working all day long. Unselfish polo by the black jerseys. Look at this, on the move, Andrade as he drops his head and moves forward here. Good rotation there by a young Bellini as Juancito will drop into the number 4 position. Now he falls in the number 3 position. So again, perfect 4-man rotation by the black jerseys here. Everybody working for each other. Now on the other side, it's going to be picked up and taken forward here as Mannix is going to launch one and send 3 pink jerseys forward here. Awesome defensive play by Bellini to take out Porter, and that's going to give Rodrigo Andrade the opportunity as Nachi Duplessis comes flying in here to try to win that play. Now he'll leave it for McGreeny. McGreeny leaves it for Nachi. Again, on the sideline, Nachi, 2 players going forward, 3 players going forward. Henry Porter tries to sneak in there, and right on the end line as we have our 30-second horn sounds, it'll get backed up and taken all the way across the goal mouth, and then that ball will roll out of bounds, and that'll end our 4 chukker play. So 10-3 after 4, and we will send both teams off the field here as they're going to go ahead and talk about this one. And I believe that's going to end the chukker. And yes, it will end the chukker. So we'll go ahead and send them all off here, and we will start our 5th chukker with a knock-in favor of Casablanca down in the far west end zone. So as they ride off, give them a shout, and we're right back here for the Molina Cup semifinal live on ChukkerTV.
James Foti with ChukkerTV. I'm joined by my good friend Juan Bellini. And as many people know, polo is very popular in Argentina, and most of the players speak Spanish. However, I do not. So he's going to teach me a word or a sentence in Spanish. What do you got for me?
First of all, amigo, as a friend.
Amigo.
Yeah, amigo.
Amigo.
Yes, that's good. And then in polo, we do a lot of changing horses.
Okay.
And that in Spanish sense is cambiar el caballo.
Cambiar el caballo.
Ojo. Cambiar el caballo. Cambiar el caballo.
Cambiar el caballo.
You sound like a Chinese. No es cambiar. Es cambiar. End with R.
Cambiar.
Cambiar el caballo.
Cambiar el caballo.
No worry, you did it terrible, but let's go for the next one, please. Right. Because we're going to be all day. Yes, cambiar el caballo.
Cambiar el caballo.
No, we still don't do it. Don't worry.
That's learning Spanish with Juan Bellini.
Oh, and it seemed like our masked man was actually on the commercial there for learning Spanish with Juan Bellini.
Hola.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
Muy bien. ¿Y tú? ¿Todo bien?
¿Todo bien? ¿Dónde vas, Tomás?
Yeah, slow down, mate. Slow down.
Well, you can learn Spanish here, of course, on Chucker TV as we're laughing here. Well, down in the end zone here, 10-3, 7-goal difference.
Well, I mean, I thought for a moment that Allegri had found their rhythm. They came back strong, but you know what? As much as they're combining well, it's going to be, as you said at the beginning, Dale, it was going to be a defensive battle. And so far, hats off, Casablanca having very much more the upper hand when it comes to the defensive play. And then 1-2 little plays, and they open up the Alegria back line. They're through, as are the players back on the field. So Alegria, well, as I said, we thought they were going to come back a little bit stronger. And wasn't quite to be, because Casablanca have a firm grip on this game. We're in the fifth Chucker. They lead by 7. And, of course, Dale, interesting to note that if, of course, Casablanca, who, of course, still are the defending champions of the Founders Cup, but if they make it through to the final, it'll be young Grant Ganzi up against the Cobra. So we'll have 2 Ganzis in the final, which would be nice. But now, looking for his second goal of the morning, the 10-goaler Hilario Ulloa, as Mannix once again takes care of housekeeping and just clears that one, takes it out of the danger zone. In comes Magrini. Magrini couldn't quite make the connection on that play. And let's talk a little bit about Henry Porter. Henry Porter, he's once again finds himself in the right place. It's a bit unfortunate for him. A little bit, he's not been able to finish because he's also reading the play exceptionally well. I think he's playing a very, very solid 3 goals. Again, now look, he's trying to sort of tee up the ball. Didn't quite make the connection, and these are the kind of mistakes that could be very costly. Ganzi once again getting the ball fed to him by the 10-goaler. Ganzi on the approach. That's one shot. He might just need to get the putter out or just watch that one go over. When he knew it, that is very, very cool there from young Grant Ganzi. Just one quick touch after the pass came from Hilario Ulloa, and that makes it 4 goals now for young Grant Ganzi. 11 goals to 3. Dale, is this game over?
Well, I got to tell you, put your hand together for Double G Grant Ganzi, and I love the ride off there as he fired that one from a good 80 yards out. Knew it was going in from the giddy up when you hit it well, and then kind of just peeled off to the right. Very cool right there on the end. But what a shot there for Grant Ganzi, dialed in, pulling the team here with the number 1 on his back. But everybody with a black jersey has been very focused today after their loss to the the ST Farm team. Actually, they went in. Yeah, there was a very, very tough game against ST Farms. And, like I said, both of those preliminary games, Jan, we did them together. They were just awesome games. Both of these teams had opportunities to win them. So, when you come off a game where you could have had a win, you go back there and you just try to come out that next game and just keep it all firing. It's been all Casablanca. Alegria is going to keep the pressure going here, though, is now Henry Porter. Henry picked that one up on the move. 2 players override. Nachi Duplessis gets it out in front of the Casablanca, and he's going to get the high flags there. Remember, Nachi, he has a long wingspan. He reaches way out in front, pulls that ball forward, and Nachi will get his second of the day. And they need to keep a run going here, Jan. This is where they got to keep the rhythm. They still have an opportunity, as the same situation with Valiente, as they were down, and that Valiente team came back to nip them at the end of the game. So this Alegria team will keep all the rhythm going. Here we go.
Yeah, you've got to be focused at this level, Dale. You've said it yourself just there. You've got to stay focused. And it looks like they're on a run now all of a sudden. Looks like the spell has been broken. But again, Casablanca standing very firm there in defence. Little backhand, a little bit short there for Bellini to pick up on as they come to the sideboards. Little backhand flick there from the South African, but Bellini looking to send the ball up the field. Now look at him open up that pony nicely. The 10-goal, the 2 number 3s battling, and now he'll take the man first. He'll pick this one up on the near side. Hilario, Mannix got a piece of it. And a little flick of the wrist from Bellini. It'll go over the back line. 3 minutes and a few seconds left to play in the penultimate chucker. 11 goals to 4. And a whistle, I'm hearing. A whistle, and one of the players has just dismounted from Casablanca. And I'm sure that pony will have done its fair share of work at the office here for Casablanca. So 11 goals to 4. 7 goals in it. And Casablanca, as you were saying, Dale, as we've been saying, standing very well, marking up very well, and making it ever so difficult for Allegri. They've had a few little chances which they've capitalised on, but it just hasn't been enough so far. And again, they will take a lot of valuables away from this game.
Yeah, when you have a 10-goaler blowing holes open for the 4-goaler, you know the team's working well. And Ulloa just showing right there. He busts loose on the little bay pony and just kept on cranking, wanting to get in there. He wins the ride-off, leaves it for Bellini. Bad luck there as Juan had his shot on goal blocked, but you got to give it up. Great D down there for Allegria as they sacrificed their body to block that ball as it was going in. We're going to go ahead and get Ulloa on a fresh pony, of course, so we'll go ahead and he walked his off. So we'll have, of course, our in-house veterinarian, Darren Campbell, will always check every horse that comes off the field here at the WPL, the World Polo League, Grand Champions Polo Club, Aspen Valley Polo Club, as he does travel around the world. He actually travels with Melissa Ganzi also around the world while she plays different places to make sure all the four-legged athletes they play are safe and sound. We love having you around, Darren. Great job he does. All right, on the move. Back shot from and the ride off there by the number 2 on the number 3. And that hand in the air is going to be they're going to move that one up, as that will be a unsportsmanlike call, as they look like they were kind of chatting a little bit too much. And, of course, that's what they do here in the WPL. If the umpires do not like what was said to them, you'll see that hand raised, and they'll go ahead and move that ball up. So right here we did have a uneven ride-off. That would have been a penalty 4. And they're going to go ahead and move that to a penalty 3 on, well, you want to guess? As that is a 3. Yeah, so 4 to a 3. And what do you think he said?
Well, I don't want to repeat it on air, but what I think is great to see is that our WPL umpires, of course, zero tolerance, very fair and very open and very lenient at times. But, of course, there is a line, and once that line is crossed, and I think it's good to see that the umpires are being consequent in their actions. You saw it there just now by Martin Aguirre. And, well, we've had another whistle. So he's just holding off there before he allows play to resume. It looks like Juancito Bellini will be stepping up to the plate. Now let's have a look at Juancito. He's already scored 3. Grant Ganzi scored 4. Ulloa 1. And Rodrigo Andrade, he scored 3 in 1 chukker. So play is now called as Juancito Bellini will be looking to match that of his teammate Grant Ganzi and getting his 4th of this semi-final. He's hit it low, but he's hit it through. No mistake. And there is goal number 4, Juancito Bellini. He'll be happy with that, matching that of his handicap. 4 goals. 4 goals scored, 2:35 on the clock. We're in the penultimate chukker. And Del, 8 goals in it. Do you think Allegri can turn this around?
You know, they got to keep the pressure up, and we got to give it up to Casablanca playing a great game today, Jan. I mean, they have not had any errors. I mean, their work is so well together. Just one of those days that you see a team click, and they're clicking perfectly today. And to see, you know, I'm not going to give it out there because I know the Allegria team, every one of these players will fight all the way to the end. So let's see if they can get a few goals between that 24 feet, that 8 yards between those 2 goalposts. This one's going to get fired back to the inside, and bad luck because that one's going to go just off the field. And they're still sending everybody forward. As it looked like Magrini rotated around the back there. They sent Mannix forward on that one, so still using different looks. And, oh, well, here's a different look from Casablanca. As Rodrigo Andrade sees that nobody's covering the far side of the field, which is a dangerous play to hit that cross goal. Juancito, oh, bad luck there as Juancito went to check down and Grant had to pull out. But good read there by the 2 young players. Not to run into each other, just bad luck on the actual play where Juancito's horse, such a ballerina, pulled up, stopped right there in front. Now they take it around the corner. Magrini's going to drop it to Mannix. Frederick has a little time right here. Nachi Duplessis is going to come in, help him out. One-timer from Nachi, looking for Henry Porter. Henry needs to go to the near side neck shot. Not an easy shot. He gets it accomplished, but not far enough. And this one will get taken by Ulloa on the gray pony. Ulloa, and once again across the goal mouth. Dangerous play by Casablanca, scooped up by Magrini. Matias. Back to the center, bounces off a pony. Matias, I thought he was going to get back to his own ball, but Grant Gansey on the ball, face pony, gets this one moving forward. Grant, once on the offside, once on the near side, very calm, cool, and collected today as Grant Gansey keeps the ball moving forward. 30-second horn sounds as Matias Bergrini will turn it back inside and get it stolen away by Andrade. Andrade's going to get caught for coming around in front. That'll end our fifth chucker plays. Put your hands together here, everyone, at the polo field, as we'll send them off 12-4. You don't want to miss the sixth chucker play of the Molina Cup. And we'll be right back with you on Chucker TV. All right, so 8-goal lead here, a goal a minute. We know that works. We've seen Adolfo Cambiaso score 4 in 2 minutes, so that works. But that is Adolfo. So we'll see. You know, we say, well, it's Adolfo. But we've told a lot of people that, but it can happen here. So, you know, you never want to leave a team out because in the game of polo, there's so many goals can get scored so quickly if it starts to click. And they're going to start off here with a possession play in favor of the Alegria team.
Yeah, well, Alegria, I mean, looking at the scoreboard, Dale, 8 goals in it, 6 chucker, you know. I mean, they've been playing well. I think a couple of times Henry Porter, bless him, you know, he's always finding himself in the right place. The ball doesn't get to him. He had a chance just now with an near side forehand, didn't quite make the connection. So Henry Porter, I'm very happy to report, I'm very happy to say he's been playing a cracking game, just hasn't had the scores that he wanted. And it's only been Henry Porter and Fred Mannix who haven't played. Dale, we're back live with the boys are out there. Join us now for the 6th and final chucker. But as you were saying, Dale, that's so nice to see within Alegria the team spirit. They will fight till the very, very end. And they will give it everything that they can. But compliments, I think we can very much say also to Juan Martinero coaching his team, of course, still defending champions of the Founders Cup from 2019. And so far, they've done everything absolutely right. They've had an average of 2.5 goals scored per chucker. It was a bit of a miss. Alegria having scored a goal so far in every single chucker, but of course it was chucker number 3, which was a goalless chucker for Alegria. Maybe that's where they lost a little bit of the momentum. But we've seen some cracking combinations, but it was very difficult to get through that defence. And there's a nice little goal by the number 2, Magrini, and I think that's very much also deserved. Magrini playing a solid game here this morning, and that's his 3rd of this semi-final, and that's what's so nice to see about Alegria. And I'm sure Fred Mannix, who was a motivator both on and off the field, will be telling his boys, guys, we will do everything that we can and we will leave the field with our heads held high. 5:42 left on the clock, and At least they get one back, 12 goals to 5, but still 7 goals in 5.5 minutes.
And they're going to bust one down the far side. It's going to be Nachi. Duplessis, he'll leave it in there. Magrini comes flying in there. Steals it away, leaves it back to Nachi. Nachi has Frederick in the rumble seat. Once, twice, ducking and diving, bobbing and weaving. Gets to one player, 2 players. Now he'll take it forward. Manic, shot on goal, and the high flag. And here you go. 2 goals in 2.5 minutes. So they are on track here. As when it clicks down to 5 minutes, they need to get a penalty and a couple goals. It's going to be, got them halfway through here, 12-6. As we come back to the center, they need to win this bowl in here and hope maybe to get a foul right out of it, Jan, to bring it down to a penalty 4.
Absolutely, but I wouldn't be surprised if Casablanca will have taken the pressure off ever so slightly. They'll be looking for opportunities. They know they've got time on their side. Nice little lofted little backhand from Bellini, and it's perfectly met. Well, it was briefly by Rodrigo Andrade and Ganzi. Now, Ganzi has been very cool here this morning, and he's showing exactly how cool he is by taking that one again. Is that one going to do the repeat of what we saw earlier? Another one of those double G super goals there. Grant Ganzi, cool as you like. Yep, he'll be happy with that. That is goal number 5. Let's see if Juancito will want to follow suit and score his 5th as well.
Yeah. Grant Ganzi loving the little mare here. Gets him out in front. Very smooth. Steals it away. Again, not rushing at all today, Grant Ganzi. Taking his time to every ball he goes to. And looked like a layup shot. But you know what they say. The best goals are the layup shots. Adolfo Cambiaso will tell you that all day long. As lay the ball up in the center there. If it's a good enough shot, it will roll in on its own. If not, when your teammates or yourself will be able to finish it up. And Grant Ganzi with just a nice, sweet little swing there to lay it inside. And like I said, it looks like he's just going to lay it inside the red zone. Yeah. Ball trickles across. Did that earlier in the fifth chucker where he made one from like 80 yards out, which again looked like a layup shot, and just hit the ball so perfectly that the ball carried through. So doing a great job there. And Casablanca firing on all cylinders today, scoring across the board. Let's break it down for you, as we do have a timeout for a 4-legged athlete with 3:45 on the clock. 1-1 after the first. 5-2 after the second, Casablanca. 8-2, Jan brought that up at halftime. And when they came out of the tent, and Jan, I got a pan Casablanca on the back here. They kept that rhythm going, and they received 2 more goals to keep it 10-3, one by Alegria, and then they just kept it going. 2 more in the 5th, making it 12-4, and here they are in the 6th chukker, and scoring goals in every chukker today. That's a very strong Casablanca team, and Alegria, they kept fighting, just a little trouble finishing as this game went on.
Absolutely, but at least now it's fair to say that everybody except, and it's such a shame because he's been in so many great opportunities, or he's had so many great opportunities throughout this game. Henry Porter, the only man yet to score for Alegria. Everybody at Casablanca having scored. We've got Rodrigo Andrade. It's been a bit quiet on the goal-scoring front. He scored, as we said, that hat-trick in chukker number 2. But at the moment, it is young Grant Ganzi leading the number of goals scored with a total of 5. And I'm pretty sure Juancito Bellini will be looking also for his 5th. Now, of course, 3 minutes and 10 seconds left to play, as Magrini will turn this one around. Porter gets right into the thick of it there. Nice little under the neck shot. Again, looking for and finding Bellini. Bellini topped that one slightly. He'll try and control it. He did well. In comes Mannix. Mannix was taken off him. And this will be, I'm sure, the strategy now of Casablanca. Keep Alegria as far away from our goal as possible. Duplessis. He's got Magrini behind him. Now Magrini might be able to. Well, he will leave it for a man who definitely has a bionic arm. Now he's going to go for the shot. And at the front is Porter. And again, Porter just slightly denied. That extra couple of yards is what he needed. Reading the play ever so well. Bellini will send it up to his teammate, Juancito. Mannix will clear it. Magrini will extend it up to the front door if he can to Duplessis, and Porter waiting in vain for that ball to come through. Making himself always available. Maybe a chance here now. There's the drive, a long distance shot, but it's gone wide with a little less than 2 minutes left to play. 13 goals to 6 down.
Yeah, I got to get it right on the doorstep. And I just feel bad now for Alegria. Every time they get it right down there on some perfect plays, working well together, dropping the ball at each other, unselfish polo, but just great D by Casablanca again as they clean it out and keep that score 13-6 as we click down here under a minute and a half left in the sixth and final. Chucker, Juancito, but taken out of there by Magrini. Matias hits Porter on the move, and it'll be Henry down in the side. Henry taking the corner here. Love the little ball-faced pony here Henry plays. He gets a lot done on his little pony. Takes it into the coffin corner. Love the tail shot across the goal mouth. They come together, and looks like the goal judge is going to wave that flag down. So Andrade is stealing that ball out of the goal mouth to save the day down there. Magrini was on the move. That ball will roll over the end line. And we'll have a penalty 6. So, of course, when the defending team hits the ball over their own end line, that is a penalty 6, a safety. Such in the game of soccer where they give a corner kick, well, we bring that ball out 60 yards from the end line. No further than 40 yards from the center of the field. And the reason why is the player only receives one approach and one hit at the ball. So they want to be able to shoot at goal. And back in the day, of course, a safety, they might have some out by the goal or out by the boards. So they give them the opportunity of bringing it in within 40 yards from the center. Here comes Nachi. Nachi gets a hold of that one, hits it well, but off to the left side. And again, you see those flags on top of the goals down there is blowing in from the northwest today. So Nachi looking right in the barrel of that wind. Might have been a bit difficult hitting that penalty there. Now, as it comes back across the center, we're going to click down 42 seconds. Magrini back to Nachi Duplessis, taken out of there by Casablanca. Nachi's going to jump on it quickly, stolen away and controlled by Ulloa. Hilario, he's going to go under the neck. That nobody home, but that's not going to matter. Our 30-second horn will sound, and Andrade's going to reach out and try to steal that one away. And with 18 seconds on the clock, looks like they're going to call it a game here. So that will end it as we walk it out, and they might have one more penalty shot here. Looks like they are talking down in the far end. So we'll give it up for both teams here. Of course, Alegria and Casablanca. Yan, what are your final thoughts?
Well, my final thoughts are that we're going to see a cracking final on Sunday morning. Richard Mille will be father against son, Guernsey versus Guernsey. And that's going to be Sunday morning, of course, at 11 o'clock. But remember, we have two very, very exciting semi-finals of the Founders Cup coming your way tomorrow. We have Seminole Casino up against Scone, and then we have SD Farms against Valiente. And, of course, the final of the Founders Cup will be played on Sunday, of course, also after the final of the Molina Cup. So 11 o'clock Sunday morning, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm looking forward to a cracking weekend of fantastic polo of the finals.
Yeah, it should be great games tomorrow, so make sure you check them out. And I want to thank Alejandro Naviza Estrada, of course, who came and sat with us at halftime. You want to check out them with, of course, Seminole Creek Casinos. And so that should be a fun game against Scone. And, of course, the other side is going to be good, ST against Valiente. So good matchups there. For Yan, Eric, Frank, I'm Dale Schwetz, and I speak for the whole Chucker TV family. I want to say thank you for making us the leaders of polo broadcasting. And remember, here at Chucker TV, we love the polo.